ever since the publication of a controversial column on date rape. The school newspaper's editor says it was an attempt to start a dialogue, and she admits it failed. CBS News correspondent Whit Johnson has more.
The campus of American University in Washington exploded when student columnist Alex Nepper wrote an article about date rape in the school's newspaper, saying any woman who heads to a party, drinks 5 cups of jungle juice, and walks back to a boys' room with him is indicating that she wants sex.
There's a massive double standard for when a man gets drunk and when a woman gets drunk.
While some students defended the newspaper's decision to run the column,
he had a point to be made, and there is some truth to it.
Others flooded the Eagle's office with emails and tweets.
It approached it in a way that was very hurtful, that brought back very traumatic memories from people.
The newspaper printed an apology in Thursday's edition, saying we are sorry. It is suspending such columns while reviewing its editorial policy. Whit Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
Joining us now from Washington, Alex Nepper, who wrote the column, and Carmen Rios, a fellow student at American who has strongly criticized it. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Alex, your words. Any woman who heads to a party, drinks, and walks back to a boys' room is indicating that she wants sex. Do you really feel that way?
Yes, and I use the word indicating very deliberately. Men cannot know what women don't tell them. And if she heads back to that room, at any time she may say no. And at that point, it constitutes rape. Absolutely, that's not in dispute. What I am in dispute of is that she can wake up the next morning regretting drunken sex and accuse the man of being a rapist. Because there are so many men out there whose lives have been devastated by false claims of rape. Everyone remembers the Duke lacrosse case. There are thousands of such cases across the country that don't get talked about in the media. This is the dialogue that we need to have.
There are also thousands that turn out to be true and legitimate. Carmen, what bothers you about the way his choice of words?
I mean, the bigger underlying problem here is that our institution has taken a very hands-off approach to sexual assault and is trying very hard to make it just go away. And the dialogue that needs to happen on campus is how we can better make it a safe space, not only for survivors, but for all students, so that no one has to constantly live in fear of sexual assault. And in college, when the environment is one where things like parties are going to happen, it's unrealistic to expect the administration to not directly confront that. And so we are all pushing for, increased resources and really supporting the Women's Center that will be founded in the fall to make sure that survivors and all students have a safe space and feel like their human dignity is protected.
And that is so important. But Carmen, allow me to play devil's advocate here. Isn't there some truth to what Alex said? I mean, I know that I would warn my daughter that if she goes to a party, has too much to drink, and goes back to a boys' room, that boy may try to take advantage of her.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem inherent here, though, is that we're warning women not to get raped, whereas the larger discussion should really be how we can encourage verbal consent. And I'm the chair of the consensual campaign on campus, and I think it's really important that people understand that achieving consent and mutuality is really important. And I think that reducing sexual assault is about a lot more than telling women not to do certain things, because it's not fair that women should have to live in fear. And that's one of the underlying problems that we're trying to solve.
And that, Alex, is what the paper has acknowledged since the publication of this article. They now say we should have ensured that the column was written in a manner that engendered constructive conversation. If you had this to do over, would you choose your words differently? Would you do anything differently?
No, and let me reply to the point that no one should have to live in fear. In a perfect world, no one would have to live in fear. But in the real world, there are risks. There are dangers, and as adults, we have to be responsible for the situations that we put ourselves in. Let me try and bring this down to earth. I'm a gay man. In a perfect world, I would be able to walk down a rural Mississippi neighborhood holding a guy's hand. In the world that we live in, I know that this is risky behavior. As an adult, those are things that I need to understand before I partake in that behavior.
All right. Alex Nepper, Carmen Rios, thank you for engaging in this debate with us this morning. Appreciate your time.
No problem.
All right. It's 7:35.
Want to change gears now, Dave?